But my name is Mr. Brown. A lot of you I've recognized from school. I'm a music teacher. I teach at Fox Meadow, Quaker Ridge, and Edgewood. Even some of you know that Scratch is a really great program. It's a coding program that we use to make games or to make animations, little movies, but I also use it to make instruments and to make music tools that we use in the music classroom. And today you guys are going to be learning sort of the beginning steps of Scratch, which is a web-based coding program. And like I said, the possibilities are really endless. A lot of you just got to explore a little bit, see what the possibilities are. But today we're going to hear primarily from Zach Sable, who's an 8th grade student here at Scarsdale Middle School. And also I want to introduce Max Almeida. And the two of us are going to be here to help you, so if at any point you feel a little lost or something, you can just raise your hand. But I'm going to turn over the presentation to Zach now, who's going to tell us all about the beginning steps of Scratch.
Great. So, out of curiosity, has anybody here ever used Scratch before? All right. Well, that's good because the point of the beginner class is to give you like a sense of how to start. And what I'm going to show in the presentation is just really a small amount of what you can do. It's very small because you can do so many things in Scratch, but you need to start somewhere. And one other thing is, if you're on some of the Scratch programs, could you please go back to the home page? That way it's not too much of a distraction. So yeah, other than that, I guess we're ready to start. So before we get started, I'm going to show, this is a quick video of what you'll be able to do after I'm done with this class. And it'll only be like 8 minutes, and you'll be able to do all of this. So you can see there's a cat. The cat will be able to move around. He'll be able to speak things. He'll be able to also rotate in place. He can think things. And there's really a lot just you'll be able to do with this small amount. So this is what the Scratch editor starts, this is what it looks like in the beginning. So when you want to program one of your Scratch programs, you'll have this view, and this is where you control what everything does. So it kind of looks confusing, so in order to make it simpler for me to understand and for everybody to understand, I've separated the screen into colors. These colors are basically the main sections of the Scratch programming language. So to start, this green area is where your characters, which are called sprites, will perform everything that you tell them to do. So in this case, you can see the cat up there. He's what's called the sprite. And you can program the sprites to do really whatever you want. This orange section below the green section is where you have all your sprites. So see, there's only one cat up there, but you can have as many sprites as you want, and they don't have to be cats. They can be any pictures you want. You can use your webcam. You can take pictures off the internet. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. I'll be happy to answer them. And also, this is the blue section. You can see all these blocks are blue. And this is because these are motion blocks. You can see all the way on the top, there are different categories. It says motion, looks, sound, and more. When you click on those categories, you'll see a whole new set of blocks. And this is because these blocks just have to do with how the cat moves. And finally, this purple section is where you're actually programming the things you want to program. For example, if you want to make the cat move forward, you tell your cat to move forward in this section using the blocks you get from this section. Now this sounds a little confusing, so I've created a small video on just showing basically how this works. I'm sorry, I have to add this after. So this is the most basic block, I would think, of the Scratch programming language. It's really where everybody gets started. And it's called the Move 10 Steps block. Now you can see, oh Mr. Brown, could you stay there for a second? You can see that it says Move 10 Steps, but the 10 is actually in a white bubble. And that's because you can change the number 10 to any number that you want it to be. So you could say move 10 steps, move 50 steps, whatever you really want. So here's an example of move 10 steps block. So what I do in this video is I drag the block out, and then I click the block. And you can see, if you watch the cat carefully, he moves a little bit. And that's basically all there is to doing Scratch. You start off by taking the blocks out from here, you move them into here, and then to make them work, you just click it. Except this might be a little bit confusing for the normal person who wants to use your program. So Scratch includes this block, which is called the green flag. So remember this green section that we had before. This is where the sprites do whatever you program them to do. You'll notice that all the way up there's a green flag and a stop button. So generally, what Scratch programmers do is they say, the user will click the green flag, and that's what starts the program. So if your program is to make the cat say hello, when you click the green flag, the cat would say hello. But your program doesn't do this on its own. You actually have to make it do this. So there you go. This is what the when green flag click block looks like. So when you click the green flag here in your Scratch and where the character acts out, this block will get run. So if we go to the next one, you can see, so imagine I click the green flag. That means that this block will be triggered. So I want the cat to move 10 steps when I click the green flag. So what I would do is I would connect these two blocks together in order to make this. So what this says is when I click the green flag, the cat will move 10 steps. So I showed a little example right over here. And also we need the sound for this one. And then click on it. When we wanted to make the cat do something, we would have to drag the block out and then click on it. When we click on the move 10 step block, the cat moves 10 steps. But what if we want an easier way to do this? The way we can do this is using the green flag block. Over here you can see that we have a lot of different categories. Right now we're in the motion category because all the blocks down here are about the cat's motion. The green flag click block is in events because it's an event. So click on the event section. Now you can see there's the block, when green flag clicked. We can drag this out. So we have these two different blocks and we want to connect them together. So drag this move 10 step block and move it close to the green flag click block until you see this white line, and then when you release, the blocks are connected together. Now you can see, even if we just drag one of them, all the blocks move because they're all snapped together. Now let's follow our program. It says, when the green flag is clicked, move 10 steps. The green flag is over here, so look, when we click the green flag, the cat moved 10 steps. And if somebody is playing our program, all they have to do is click the green flag, and you can see the cat will move 10 steps. So the great thing about the green flag block is that the user doesn't actually have to go into the program, which might be complicated, and say, oh, which block do I have to click to make the program work? All they have to do is click the green flag, which makes it a lot simpler for players to use your program. And really, all the programs in the Scratch language use the green flag click block. Okay, so next would be the turn 15 degrees block. So this is actually extremely similar to the move 10 steps block, except instead of moving forward or backwards, it turns the cat. So in case people don't know, degrees is actually a unit of measurement. So when you turn degrees, just imagine if you're moving forward, you'd imagine my hand is like moving forward and backwards. You could say side to side. But if you're doing degrees, you're actually rotating it like this way. So you would use the turn 15 degrees block in the same way you'd use the move 10 steps. You can actually change the 15 to be any number that you want. And here is a very simple example. It's really the same thing. I just have the green flag click block and the turn 15 degrees block. So when I click it, when I click the green flag, you can see the cat just turns around just like that. So because I'm not using the move 10 steps block, it's not moving forward, it's turning because I used the 15 degrees block.
You have a question.
Oh, yes.
Is there is the cat's going the sprite is going really slow? Is there any way to like speed it
I
up?
mean, but it's turning slowly or it's moving slowly?
Both.
Okay, so what we're actually doing is we're making it so when you click the green flag, it turns, but each time you click the green flag, it only turns a little bit. So one thing you could do is you could change the 15 degrees to be like 50 degrees, and it'd go a lot faster. Another way you could do, I don't actually talk about it in this one, I think Max might talk about it later. You could use what's called a loop. So you could have it, when you click the green flag, it turns 15 degrees 5 times, so then it would actually go a lot more. But if you're interested in that, I can show you after I'm done with this. Okay, this block is actually different than what we talked about before because it doesn't have to do with movement. It actually has to do with time and waiting. So you would use this block for something like you would move when the green flag is clicked, the cat would move 10 steps, then he could wait 1 second, and since it's white, you can change 1 second to whatever you want it to be. The cat would wait and then do something else. So this is shown in this example here. So now that we've talked about this a little bit, does anybody think they know what this might do? Yes, Elio.
When you click the green flag, it's gonna move 10 steps, and it's gonna wait for 1 second, it's gonna move another 10 steps.
Right, that's exactly right. So I show this right over here. I made it big that way you can see it. You can see when you click the green flag, the cat moves. Oh, could you play the video
Yep.
again? It's kind of got cut off. When you click the green flag, the cat moves 10 steps, he waits, and then he moves another 10 steps. One thing that you can especially notice from this video is that 10 steps is not that big of a number. I mean, if I move 10 steps, I'm moving really far, all the way across the room. But when the cat moves 10 steps, he's just moving like a tiny amount. You can see he barely moves. So what you would do is, if you wanted him to move more, you could change 10 steps to a bigger number, like 50 steps, really whatever you want it to be.
So the more steps it is, the faster he goes.
Right, or not necessarily the faster, but the more he would move. Because in Scratch, if you say move 10 steps, it's not like this. The cat more starts here and then he jumps here. There's no like gliding in between. You'll notice even though he's moving a little bit, he just jumps from that place. I can show you. See how he just kind of jumps from place to place. He's not actually like slowly moving there. So if you made it 50, that's correct. He'd move more. Okay, the next block is the say block. So you've seen in comic books, the characters can think things, they can say things, and Scratch actually makes it really easy to do this without having to program something complicated. These blocks, or this is achieved by using the say block and the think block, which look just like these. So you'll notice in the move blocks there is only one white area, but here there are actually 2. So the block goes, say hello for 2 seconds. Since these 2 are both white, you can both change them to whatever you want. So you can say hi, I'm Zach, for 5 seconds. You can say whatever you want for however many seconds you want it to be. And the same is for the think block. The only difference from the say and the think block is that the think block has the little bubbles coming out of it, and the say block has the actual speech text. So what this block would do is when you click the green flag to start the program, the cat would just say hello, and hello would remain on the screen for 2 seconds. Here's a quick example. It's actually hard to see what the cat's saying, but it says, welcome to Steam Day. He stays there for just 2 seconds. So I think now that we're done with this, we have some objectives, which means this is what the goal is for people to complete. So these are the objectives. They have to do with motion, looks, and then there's this final objective. I'm just going to point out all of these can be done with what I've shown you. If you have any questions, please ask either me, Max, or Mr. Brown. And finally, one thing that I'm just going to show is we're not actually on the Scratch editor unless some of you figured out how to go there. So what you want to do is you want to go on the Scratch website like this. Click on this Create button up here, and that will bring you to the Scratch editor. And I showed you, only some blocks, but if you figure out how to use different blocks, or you just want to experiment, after you're done with the objectives, feel free to do that. And thank you for your attention.
Yeah, so you guys can take this time to try to recreate movement. You want to
Here,
get
let me
those
go back to
objectives
the
again?
objectives, yeah.
And we're going to see if we can start off with a goal of having the cat move 20 steps. And when you're done with that, see if we can figure out how to make it move backwards.
Okay, and also I'm just noticing I didn't put this in the objectives, but let's try and have it so this will all happen when you click the green flag.
That's true. All right,
Whoa.
so
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
I need someone else.
find the green flag block too.
You want to get rid of that, or you want to use it?
Aha.
You can. That's what you name
Sorry,
it,
gotta
so you
click
can
it
really name
together.
it whatever you want. Including scripts right there. That'll send
Got
you
that
back.
green flag.
So moving to the left, if you're curious, I'm not sure if you know, if you imagine a number line, and I don't know if you know negative numbers. It has to be negative numbers. So
Just
see
like
if you have like a number line,
That's
you
good.
go to the right, the numbers get bigger.
Hey,
Zero.
Andrew Brown, pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
Right.
Good Joshua Kids and Music. Okay, good.
Let's do that first.
It moves so much it just moved off of the screen.
Oh, good question. So, if I gave you $20, right, that'd be 20 positive 20. Right? If I took 20, well, it'd be 0, but what would you be doing? What function would you be doing? Adding or subtracting, right? So, if you actually say negative, let's see, that's how you get it.
And now,
Negative.
move one step to forward, or
See what I mean?
So if it's like,
left,
it's
right?
like a number.
So what do you do?
Exactly
When
the
you
same,
make a
right? There's
big
an
move, what
X
do you
and
do?
Y grid here.
You move first or you go first?
So you can even do change Y.
Oh, I don't think he mentioned this, but if you do move negative 20 steps, he'll actually move negative 20 steps in the direction he's facing.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
Because I'm not, well, no,
You figure out how to make it to the left.
So move to the
Figure out how
right,
to
it's
make
going
it
to
20 steps to the left.
this way or go that way?
To the left, or here, let me come around.
Move forward, it's going to move to the right, go this way or to that way?
I don't. I probably could use.
It's going to go
Oh,
to
right there.
or it's going to negative.
See it?
Negative is go that way.
Let's see. Let's see.
That's all the.
So,
So you want to
go
go
back.
active?
Alright, so we want to go to scripts.
They're saying.
right.
We start with that. Do you notice which one we?
Forward or
Okay, now we can drag that in. This is cool. Okay.
which way is going forward?
Now, there's another section we wanted to move. So do you think it would be under sound, books, or motion?
I want to see you make it.
Which one do you think movement would relate to? Yeah, so go to motion. And now we see another block that says you can move it. Okay, so let's see if it works. So when you clicked, so here's your green flag over here. Click that. Let me see. Yeah, so he's just moving 10 over. So now try to get him to move 20 by changing
Actually,
the.
this around.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's good to figure out why it's not working. I never ran away from the friend. All right, so can you actually have him move first and wait and then try to get a creative. Yeah, so one thing that we're looking at right here is that when you click the green flag, it's going to do everything here. So one thing we need to do is put in a weight. So if we put in the weight, now we read it down and he's going to move 20 steps, wait a second, and then move another 20 steps. So try clicking the green flag now when you change his costume. So now he's still going. You see how he waited 1 second and then kept going? That's okay.
Not necessarily, but if you wanted to start,
That's his
do you think
meow.
you know why it's not really?
So you could go back to
If
scripts,
you look at your program,
go to sound,
there's no delay in between move 20 and move
and
negative.
drag
So
play
what it's
meow.
doing
Yes, I
is-
got it, I got it.
It's just, it's
So
doing
now,
that.
now your whole script is in. Tell me what the script does first. What does it do
So
first?
if you put like a delay in the middle, you'd see it move and then it wait and then it's in.
Yeah, so let's see if he doesn't. So, the green flag,
Yeah.
20, and then 20, and then.
That's
He's
right.
waiting in 1 second, but that's, they say 1 second. But you could change any one of these. So, why don't you, now let's figure out how to get them to go backwards.
It would be like
Yeah, these are.
very small. So
Yeah, so can you
try going.
change
Can you
this
try
20
going
to a
20
negative
right?
20? So all you have to do is just click in there,
Because whenever it says
negative 20.
whichever direction he's facing, it will
So
move.
now, actually drag your cat back to the middle here. Click and drag him back over. There you go. So now let's see what happens.
Yeah.
20, wait, moves back and
so-
says meow. He's a very
What you
confused
do
cat,
is if
right?
you do negative
Keep
20
running around in
steps,
circles.
he'll go
So,
You don't wanna dress it.
let me just see.
and you can see the flag.
So one of the things you can do
I'm
is,
making a block.
Oh yes, because
oh,
what
that's
you can do-
advanced. You have to come back to the advanced one
Try
for
to
that.
rotate it.
This is interesting. So you
So
notice
close
that.
out that one. Look at this. See if you can find these, in which only these 10 blocks, see what you can come up with.
We'll rotate it.
Well, you
Okay.
can try that. You mean move the 20 first?
Try
And then, if you want, here's some more challenges that you can bring home. These are really cool because these are all broken.
try that
And you
out.
have to look at it and see why is it broken and fix it, which I think is a really good way to. So you guys can take these home, yeah.
Top
And
to
negative
bottom.
20.
So whatever block you have,
So just if you're
very first time.
program,
And then here's just how to
that's gonna
create
move
these
to the right,
challenges.
and it's
Oh,
gonna move to the
Okay.
left.
Thank you very much.
So why don't you add another sprite to have Luke Skywalker interact with somebody else?
See what happens.
There's no delay. It's moving, it's going like.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
Very
Good to see
good.
you.
It's good to
How's
see you.
everything?
It's going great.
Scratch?
Yeah, we're doing a little
Take
scratch.
some scratch shots here.
Zach did a nice presentation
Hey,
on
Zach,
getting them
how you
going,
doing?
and then now they're all just working.
That's
so,
awesome.
So
Yeah.
then you can see left, right,
Yeah,
down.
that's right.
So you want left.
What's the sound?
Isn't that cool?
So
Good
So you can
sound.
see. And that actually, that's actually what I
Can you see
did
it?
in my
No,
demonstration
you're
video in the beginning. I made it move and it kind of waits.
So there's one other thing. You can see how it happens. So
Yeah,
let's see if
that's
you
good
can
for
put
doing
in
it.
a little.
Right is
I want to like a little more.
rotation style, go left and
Okay,
right,
so-
not up and down.
Oh, it's gonna be
So then you can't go opposite for what you want.
Cool, right? Alright, so how do we get him to go backwards?
So that can move down, it will just
Ah, try and type it in.
so
Okay.
if you want to
So
go
you
left,
just drag it,
or use the
just
same
drag
rotation
it into
style,
desktop.
So one thing is we're gonna
And then
move,
if we go back to scratch, you
right?
should
then
be
it's
able to
pointing
drag
left,
it.
so
And we're gonna have to actually change it to
Zach, you get it?
So,
Now, so you try to
negative
put
10.
some weight
So now
blocks
you
in there,
will see
so
that,
like,
this is, remember how we had the sound there? That was a sprite. Think of it like, you're acting in a performance.
So let's see.
When you're on a play,
so whatever
you look different.
number you put in there,
So he didn't do
So
anything.
these are what's
Put it
called
like
costumes. You can actually
Oh, no,
change
it
the way
is.
you
That
look.
was
So
awesome. Oh, yeah,
now,
wait for 2
the cat is
seconds.
wearing
Okay.
well, that's the amount of
Nice
steps you
job.
wait
the
for.
So there's a couple things you
Try
can do there.
putting
You can either
weight
add
in
another
between
character.
those
So
two
you
blocks.
notice it's still a cat. It's just a little
So
weird.
then it will do the
It's
same
right
right
here.
and
It's
then
the same exact thing.
Jesus, right?
yeah,
You can
I'm
make
gonna do
all
that
these
first.
and then
categories.
it will wait.
Yeah, actually, Scratch has a built-in,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Program them to
Yeah,
talk to
and
you.
you can create 2 sprites, so you can have 2 sprites do completely different
How's
things.
everything going?
Well, yeah, good.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I
Hard to
can't
get around.
I didn't even know my way around here. So.
All in the middle school, you know, you that's right down here. Yeah.
But everywhere else. So.
Yeah, I got it.
Same come out as that?
Alright, so I'm just gonna talk to the cat.
So it says, I'm a
That's $5. If you finish that, I'll give you $5.
How do you delete it? And it's like, a sprite.
Stop.
Okay, you see those little scissors up
How
there?
we doing over here?
Just click the scissors
Let
and
me
you
help
select
you get your cat back on.
except all your sprites are
So
really
this is the go-to block, basically where I put coordinates right here. So the center is 0, 0,
I am. Ooh.
Oh, you need capital?
So there's no motion. Did you add
That's
some
the
motion
very
already?
center.
And
And then
And
this
what
one
is
is
that?
How's it going?
positive.
Got a good crowd.
Yeah,
Positive.
more
And
people
see if you
than
want to
that.
add another
Yeah, no,
character
it's
to
a
your-
great presentation. That's what Brown said, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
was good.
This is positive
Yeah,
y,
yeah,
that's
no,
negative
great.
y.
Whole day is
So
great.
if
I'm
we
trying to get
put
around
that
to it.
We have the second
Positive
time slot off actually, so
zero.
we're gonna go check
Go and
out some
explore,
other
yeah, you gotta
areas.
go in the gym and just go to
Yes.
all the different workshops.
Yeah.
very
Absolutely,
center.
yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Program, they programmed everything for you.
So we'll go